Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Imagine with me the moment the Democrats find out that they've been lied to. Welcome, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. It's the Kevin Jackson Show, KJRadio.com. Guess what, folks? Many Democrats have already experienced this tragedy, this trauma. They've watched as the party they've supported for decades has eroded into a secret society of elitists. We talk of the New World Order, the Bilderbergs, and people like that all the time. And it used to be this big conspiracy theory. We now see that theory playing out. We are watching as elitists rewrite the rules. Barack Obama said many times there are not two justice systems in America, and he's proven multiple times in his crooked administration that there is definitely two-tier justice. There's not a person on this planet, certainly not in this country, who doesn't believe that Hillary Clinton should be in prison, that James Comey should be in prison, that Susan Rice should be in prison, perhaps even the former president of the United States should be in prison. Many people have played into the cabal, the secret society that exists in Washington, D.C., something that we now know as the swamp, because Donald Trump called it that when he said, I'm going to go to D.C. and drain the swamp. And many of us didn't believe it. We thought, nah, it's not really as big of a cesspool as we thought. We believed, even with all of the evidence that we'd seen, with all of the things, the observational things that, that we could put together in our own minds, the logic of it all, we still didn't realize how big, how deep, how wide the swamp was. There's hardly a conservative that looked at the FBI and said, this thing goes from Comey to McCabe to Peter Strzok and Lisa Page and on down the line. Jim Ray, perhaps, Mueller, and all the people across the board. It doesn't matter how far wide you go and how deep you go. D.C. is proving every single day the number of minions that are working, folks, against you, against conservatism, against America. There's a saying, the better the information it has, the better democracy works. Silence and secrecy are never good for it. I'll ask you this. Let's take it out of the macro and put it into the micro. Are secrets good for you? You got secrets, something you haven't told your friends, your children, your co-workers or whatever. Look, I understand there are things that you may be embarrassed about. But be honest. If you could share the thing that embarrasses you the most and know that people wouldn't really care, how liberating would that be? Huh? I don't know what it is. Maybe you had an affair and you're just holding it in. You don't want to tell somebody. Maybe you kicked your dog. I don't know. All I'm telling you is there's something inside of every one of us that you hold, and it's a secret. And maybe somebody very, very, very close to you understands it and you've told them or whatever. I hate to put it this way because this is a terrible analogy, but it is. It's something that you can relate to. They say that's why serial killers keep these little trinkets. I remember in the TV series Dexter, when he was finally able to tell some girl he was dating that he was, a serial killer. It was like, I can live now. As crazy as that sounds, this serial killer, which by the way, he was a good one because he killed bad guys, but he felt free. All this time, it was only something he and his father knew. His father found out his son was a serial killer. One of these kids that was going to grow up to be a serial killer. And he says, look, if you're going to be this, we're going to make it for something good. We're going to satisfy that urge in you by putting it into something good. And he makes his son a serial killer that kills bad guys. That's the premise of Dexter. But here's the thing. Only he and his dad knew. Even Dexter's sister doesn't know. And the whole angst of that TV show is Dexter having to keep it secret. You get what I'm saying? Secrecy, being the instrument of conspiracy, ought never to be a system of regular government. Jeremy Bentham said that. But that's what we had. And it isn't just Obama, folks. We can blame Obama and talk about him all we want. We've had a secret government for decades. Decades. People afraid to talk about it, to divulge those secrets. And guess what? You're the people who pay for it. You're the people who are supposed to know everything about your government, because that's what's going to make you more effective as leaders. But you know what the people in government say? They say you're too stupid to lead. We can't tell you the secrets, because if you know them, you'll make the wrong decisions. These people believe they make the right decisions. Why? Because they're smart. They're the intelligentsia. You're the idiot. You just pay the bills. I mean, I want you to imagine, you've got a sugar daddy and he's paying the bills. And every time he comes over and he's like, hey, look, we haven't even cuddled. And you go, look, we ain't cuddling. This is as good as it gets. You get to come and feast upon these, all of this right here. But that's as far as it goes, my friend. And by the way, I need a new credit card. And he's like, yes, okay, here you go. Boom. And by the way, here's all my cash and here's my jewelry and whatever else. And when I see you next time to feast upon you, I will deliver more cash and more goodies and all. That's the way Washington treats you. You're just the sugar daddy that's supposed to show up and pay bills and shut up and get out, and you get what you get. And it depends on the mood I'm in. So when you think about what we've witnessed over the past 8+ years with Obama, decades, and before him, but what he really put to a level that's unbelievable. I mean, it's hard for me to believe that Barack Obama claims that he's got this scandal-free administration, and he maintains his secrecy to this day. Folks, we know less about that man than we know about who was the last dictator of Zimbabwe. We know less about Obama than we know about that guy, and you don't even know who that guy's name is. You know less about the guy who presided over this country. The only thing you know about that fool is he didn't care about you. He didn't love you. He didn't love this country. That's what you know. You don't know. You got ideas about how he came to it. You don't know what the status of his marriage is for real. You don't know what the status is of Reggie Love. You don't know what the status is of his children. You don't know what the status is of his extended family. You don't know what the status is of his real friendships, what he went to school for, how well he did. You know nothing about him, and neither do the leftists. Neither do any of them. He is cloaked in secrecy, and he'll try to keep it that way to the very end, and I'm going to talk more about it today. Glad you guys are tuned in to Kevin Jackson Show.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.
Beth Cook Moranville, author of Closer Than Your Breath, a book of hope.
Hope, that wonderful, wonderful 4-letter word that you may feel completely out of. I wrote this book to give you great hope. It's not too late. If fetal position is an all too familiar place for you, I understand. If the next 60 seconds are too long, this book is for you. Wherever you are right now, whether you're dealing with divorce or death or sickness, take hope. You are going to make it through this pain. Don't roll your eyes. I've walked this road and I know it. The best is yet to come.
Closer Than Your Breath, a book of hope from author and speaker Beth Cook Moranville, can be found on Amazon.com or Kindle.com. For more information, visit closerthanYourBreath.com or on Facebook at Closer Than Your Breath.